Folks, I want to show you how to pull resources from your groups or your own collections into a course. You might remember that when you pull something in that someone else has created, there's a few settings you have to change, but most of the material rides along with it really well. That's what makes Schoology a big benefit to us that are working in collaborative partnerships or NPLCs, and even pulling in stuff from the county for GBA. So it doesn't really matter where your resource come from. The buttons might be a bit different, but I'm going to show you how to pull in a whole folder of items and then specifically how to change an assessment. Okay, there's another video already out there on how to pull in a Google Drive assignment type because you have to reattach that Google Drive template because it was the other person's template. You have to reattach it. So it has its own little set of steps. But again, all this is still faster than recreating it yourself. So it doesn't matter where you start, whether you go through groups and find the resources that have been posted to it, or go to all of your resources and then go into a group to find its unique stuff. Either way, it's kind of similar. So I'm going to start in resources. And for right now, I'm just going to use stuff that I put there, okay? You know that you can go to group and find items there. But I'm going to just pull in these items. And first, I'm going to start with this puzzle piece here, which is an assessment. So I'm going to go over to the gear on the right, and I'm going to add it to my course, okay? When you do that, you're going to select which course. I'm going to do my sandbox. And notice that you'll get a ton of options right here. And this is all you'll need to fill in, okay? So you're going to come in here and you're going to say it goes in a certain folder. I'd probably put it in the one for that week. You're going to establish a due date. You're going to choose a grading category. Even if it's ungraded, it needs some kind of category. I'm just call this one reading for now. You'll choose the scale, which remember for most of us in K5 is going to be just regular old numeric, but we can change it to K2 rubric if we're K2. And then the period needs to be there, but it should already be there, and it should just be the 2020-2021 academic year. Okay, so I'm just going to add it. Okay, it doesn't look like anything happened, but it added it to my course. Now, I'm going to go into my folder. I believe you've seen me do this one before. I'm going to just add the whole folder. Now, again, if this had an assessment in it, I would need to go change those settings too, or any assignments in it, okay? So that's why I'm doing the whole folder at once. I'm going to copy this. I'm going to add it to my course. And do the same thing. So notice here, because there's all these pieces in it, it just asks what folder I want to put it in. This is the whole folder for the week, let's say, so I'm again not putting it in a folder. So there it is. So now I'm going to go back to my course that I added all this stuff to. Again, that part's pretty painless. And I want to show you that the assessment is done. It already shows that it's ready to go today. See, there it is already on the calendar with the due date I selected. So it's ready for midnight tonight, basically. I can go in here and hit edit one more time just to show you that all of this stuff is cool. The one thing I do have to change, and this is super important, is I have to turn on submissions. Okay, I can turn on with a date range if I want to, but I have to enable submission. So for some reason, that one drop down, which is necessary for it to work, doesn't appear when you copy it. So you need to mark it there and hit save changes. So you have to do that part. When I go into my folder, and you've seen my folder before in my clips, it kind of depends on the content, okay? So for all these pages, as you've seen in my old video, you don't have to do anything. But when you get to the specific content, like assignments, you're probably going to want to change those so they have your date. So think about it. It was put in by the county or by a teammate, and they put their dates in. Schoology doesn't want to make the assumption that you're going to match the exact date, right? So we're going to come into the gears. We're going to hit edit on each one of these items that is an assignment or should have any kind of due date. And we're going to add in the blank boxes, basically, right? So we're going to put in a date. These kids are getting loaded down today. We're going to make sure it has a category. We're going to make sure that all this is the way that we want it. This should be 2020, 2021. This should all be fine. And this green guy here means it's published. This one means submissions are already enabled. I hit save changes, and now it'll appear on my update of upcoming events as well. So I need to do that to all these with the blue icons, the practice it's, the discussion board icons, And again, if there were another assessment in there, I would need to do with that as well. Okay. So that's the settings you need to change when you copy something in from someone else's resources or even your old resources from maybe last year when we get that far. All right. Thank you very much. Have a good day.